Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care. Ben stepped into the bustling noise of the city, the vibrant hum of life pressing around them like a warm embrace. The scent of street food wafted through the air, mixing with the tang of energy drinks and the faintest hint of exhaust. As they navigated through the throngs of people, excitement bubbled within. This change, moving to a new apartment in a vibrant neighborhood, promised fresh starts and new encounters. The building loomed ahead, a quaint structure infused with an eclectic mix of human and alien decor. Bright murals plastered the exterior, each telling stories of various cultures that had intertwined over the years. Ben was feeling the pull of curiosity, eager to find a refuge within those walls. As they entered the lobby, a small, soft chime greeted them, and for a moment Ben stood there, their heart racing with possibilities. The front desk was empty, but the air was heavy with an alluring scent, a floral haze mixed with something earthy and electric. Ben inhaled, feeling an odd comfort, and made their way to the elevator. The ride was an introspective moment. Ben couldn't shake the feeling that something significant awaited them. With each passing floor, anticipation crackled in the air like static electricity. Finally, the elevator dinged on the 4th floor, and as the doors slid open, Ben stepped into the corridor, glancing at the neighboring doors lined neatly on either side. After fumbling with the lock on their door, Ben finally entered their new apartment. The space was modest but inviting, a blank canvas ready for their personal touch. With bright morning light streaming in through the windows, the walls felt alive with potential. The moment of solitude was quickly interrupted by a knock, sending an unexpected thrill through Ben. Opening the door revealed their new neighbor, Latoria. Standing there was a striking figure, her presence almost ethereal. She had a radiant smile that illuminated her face, framed by vibrant hair that shifted in color like the sunrise. Hues of pink, orange, and purple mingled together. Ben's breath caught in their throat, feeling an ancient pull as her striking eyes met theirs, revealing depths of emotion that spoke without words. "Hi, I'm Latoria," she said, her voice melodic and warm. There was a strange flicker in the air, an intangible connection forming with each passing moment. As they spoke, Ben couldn't help but notice the sweet, intoxicating scent that enveloped her, a subtle mix of fresh blooms and something inexplicably alluring. "Ben," they replied, their voice slightly shaking. The air around them felt charged, like a silent promise hanging between them. Latoria's laughter rang out, a sound that echoed with genuine warmth. They exchanged pleasantries, and Ben felt a rush of emotion, overwhelmed by an attraction that felt both foreign and familiar. Despite the short interaction, Ben was left breathless, heart racing as they closed the door behind them. That night, as they lay in bed, Ben replayed the encounter in their mind. Latoria's enchanting smile and alluring scent lingered, wrapping around them like a warm blanket. A thrilling sense of anticipation bubbled within. Little did Ben know, their life was about to change in ways they had never imagined. Days passed, and the city blended into a blur of daily routines. Yet Ben found their thoughts drifting back to Latoria with increasing frequency. Each morning was marked by the hopeful anticipation of bumping into her, a simple encounter that brought excitement to their otherwise mundane life. One afternoon, as fate would have it, Ben was checking their mailbox when they heard footsteps behind them. Turning around, their breath hitched as Latoria appeared, fingers dancing through her vibrant hair. She waved cheerfully, and the sight of her sent a rush of warmth flooding through Ben's body. The scent from before, a mesmerizing blend of sweetness and something undeniably magnetic, washed over them again. "Hey, Ben, how's the new place treating you?" Latoria asked, leaning against the wall with a casual grace. "It's great, still unpacking though," Ben replied, fighting to maintain composure. The moment had a magical quality as they stood close, a bubble of connection forming in the air between them. Each word exchanged felt laced with an electric tension. Latoria's laughter chimed in response, making Ben's heart race. The way she effortlessly drew them in was intoxicating. As they chatted, Ben noticed the subtle way Latoria's skin shifted colors with her emotions, deeper hues emerging every time she smiled or laughed. It was simultaneously mesmerizing and disarming. However, something deeper pulled at Ben's awareness. With each passing moment, they felt more aware of Latoria's unique presence, the alluring pheromones she emitted swirling in the atmosphere, enhancing Ben's attraction. It was almost overwhelming, a heady mix of excitement and longing washing over them. "Do you want to hang out sometime?" Latoria asked, tilting her head in genuine interest. The question sent thrill and dread crashing into Ben's chest simultaneously. "I would love that," they managed, feeling the heat of her gaze igniting a fiery warmth deep within. "Maybe a weekend outing?" "Perfect. Let's do it," Latoria said, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. After that encounter, Ben found themselves lost in thoughts about Latoria more than ever. Every moment felt like an agonizing eternity as they awaited their planned outing, the anticipation producing a mix of nervous excitement. Deep inside, an insatiable yearning glimmered, an attraction that felt like a gravitational pull they could hardly resist. The evening before their outing, Ben couldn't sleep. Every time they closed their eyes, visions of Latoria's enchanting smile danced in their mind. They drifted between fantasy and reality, imagining what their time together might be like. Would she hold their hand? Would they explore the city under the stars? When the day arrived, Ben found themselves standing in front of the mirror, fidgeting with their outfit. They settled on a casual look while still trying to impress. Latoria's style was effortlessly chic, so Ben wanted to echo that feeling of ease and beauty. The hour finally arrived, and nerves fluttered in Ben's stomach as they stepped into the hall. The door creaked open, revealing Latoria, looking radiant in her flowing dress that shimmered in the light. Time seemed to stand still as their eyes met, and an undeniable bond snapped into place. "Ready for an adventure?" Latoria asked, a playful smile tugging at her lips. "More ready than ever," Ben laughed, trying to mask their nervousness with excitement. As they stepped out together, the world felt different, a canvas splashed with possibilities and uncharted territory waiting to be explored. With every passing moment, the intoxicating blend of anticipation and attraction filled the air around them, urging them to move forward into unknown territories of the heart. The bustling local market was vibrant, alive with sound and color. As Ben and Latoria navigated through the lively stalls, the kaleidoscope of sights was almost overwhelming. Brightly colored fruits and vegetables piled high, handmade crafts glinting in the sunlight, and enticing scents wafting through the air. Latoria seemed to glow amidst the chaos, her skin shimmering in hues that shifted beautifully. Ben couldn't help but steal glances, captivated by her presence. There was something magnetic about her energy, a joyful spirit that drew people in. Every smile she offered was like a spark igniting the air around them. "Over here! You have to try these," Latoria exclaimed, pulling Ben toward a stall brimming with exotic fruits. They laughed together as Latoria picked up a spiky alien fruit, offering it to Ben with a wink. "What does it taste like?" Ben asked, eyeing the fruit warily. "Let's find out." Latoria grinned, taking a bold bite. Juice dripped down her chin, and she giggled at the mess. As Ben watched, the sight was intoxicating, a blend of playfulness and allure. With a mix of excitement and hesitation, Ben took a bite as well. The flavor exploded on their tongue, a delightfully sweet and tangy mixture, sending a surge of energy through them. "Delicious, right?" Latoria said, wiping her mouth with her knuckles. Her eyes sparkled with amusement and delight. "Absolutely. You have great taste," Ben replied, feeling a warmth spread through them that had little to do with the sun. They continued their exploration, stumbling upon artists showcasing their crafts. Latoria picked out a small, uniquely designed piece, an alien artifact that Ben hoped could bridge their different worlds. As they wandered through the market, talking and laughing, the chemistry between them filled the air, an electric undercurrent that pulsated with unspoken desires. Amidst the colors and sounds, Ben grew increasingly aware of the pheromones Latoria exuded. Each time they brushed against each other, it sent waves of warmth through Ben, heightening their senses. The combination of Latoria's laughter, charming demeanor, and intoxicating scent wrapped around them like a blissful shroud. "Let's sit for a while," Latoria suggested, her tone gentle. Ben nodded, and they found a cozy spot beneath a vibrant canopy. They plopped down on mismatched cushions, their knees brushing against each other, sending mismatched signals through Ben's body. "Tell me about your world," Latoria said, leaning closer. The intimacy embedded in her words sent Ben's heart racing. "What do you want to know?" Ben replied, their voice barely above a whisper. "Anything. Your favorite things, dreams," she encouraged, her eyes full of genuine interest. "I love exploring nature, reading and learning new things. I used to stargaze a lot, imagining what lay beyond the stars," Ben confided, feeling a sense of safety bloom in her presence. "I'd love to stargaze with you," Latoria said softly. "On my planet, the nights are filled with colors you've never seen. The stars dance, and I'd love to show you." "Sounds captivating," Ben replied, picturing those celestial marvels. The moment deepened as they shared dreams, fears, and laughter, each word uttered like a thread weaving their fates closer together. But despite the enchanting connection, the lingering thoughts of the challenges Latoria faced due to her being different nagged at Ben. As they discussed their worlds, Ben found themselves questioning where they fit in this new dynamic. As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the market, Ben and Latoria stood to leave. "This day was magical, Latoria," Ben said, their heart full and hopeful. "It will only get better," she replied, her eyes sparkling, and as they walked back, the charged atmosphere between them whispered promises of what was to come. With each new encounter, the bond between Ben and Latoria grew stronger. Every shared glance was filled with unspoken emotions, and every touch felt electric, igniting a warmth within. Their outings became a regular occurrence, transforming mundane days into exciting escapades filled with laughter and flirtation. One weekend afternoon, they decided to take a scenic bike ride along the river. The air was crisp, and a gentle breeze caressed their skin as they rode side by side. With the sun shining brightly overhead, Latoria's colors glimmered in the light, each hue radiating joy as they sped along the path. "Racing you," Latoria called playfully, her laughter ringing through the air as she pedaled faster. Ben sped after her, a mix of exhilaration and thrill coursing through them. They competed fiercely, but in Ben's eyes it was less about winning and more about the exhilaration of simply being together. As they slowed to catch their breath, Latoria leaned against a tree, a mischievous gleam lighting up her features. "You're pretty fast for a human," she teased, her laughter infectious. "Only when I'm racing against someone as quick as you," Ben replied, panting and grinning ear to ear. The moment felt perfect, laughter spilling over and creating a bubble of happiness that enveloped them. "Let's have a picnic," Latoria suggested, her eyes lighting up with excitement. They spread out a blanket next to the river, and as they unpacked their snacks, the atmosphere filled with a sense of shared joy. "Have you ever tried Earth sandwiches?" Ben asked, pulling out their homemade creations. Colorful veggies lay nestled between slices of bread. Latoria watched in fascination as Ben explained the flavors and combinations. Eager to experience this Earth delight, she took a big bite, her eyes lighting up with delight. "Delicious," Latoria exclaimed. "I'll have to learn to make these on my own." As they ate, their conversation flowed effortlessly. Latoria shared stories of her planet, the vibrant festivals, the breathtaking landscapes, and the customs that defined her race. "We celebrate colors, you know. Every month we have a festival where we all wear our brightest hues," Latoria explained animatedly, her own skin reflecting the excitement of her tales. "That sounds amazing. I'd love to experience that," Ben said, envisioning the festivities in their mind. With each story, they learned more about Latoria, peeling back the layers of her personality. The bond deepened, and the awareness of their growing attraction intensified. Eventually, the sun began to set, dyeing the sky in brilliant reds and oranges. Latoria's skin took on shades that mirrored the sunset, and Ben couldn't resist reaching out to touch her arm gently. "You're beautiful," they whispered, feeling both bold and vulnerable. Latoria's breath hitched at the compliment, and her colors deepened, painting her with hues of lavender and deep crimson. Their eyes locked, and in that solemn moment, challenges and doubts seemed to fade away, leaving behind only the connection they shared. "Thank you," Latoria breathed, her voice barely above a whisper. "You see me." I want to know all of you, Ben replied, their own emotions pouring out, and in that charged moment, they both felt a shift, a magnetic pull that connected their souls. As the night deepened, they found themselves curled up on the blanket, staring into the stars, their shoulders brushed against each other, hearts racing at the intimacy of the moment. Do you think the stars shine just for us? Latoria mused, pointing to a cluster of shimmering lights above. Maybe they do, Ben replied, feeling the warmth of her presence wrap them in comfort. Then let's make a wish, Latoria said, her gaze serious and filled with intention. What should we wish for? Ben asked, amused. For this to last forever, she said, turning her gaze to Ben, her eyes shimmering under the celestial light. I wish for that too, Ben whispered, feeling the earnestness pour from their heart. And as the stars twinkled above, uniting their wishes, the space between them felt smaller, charged with the promise of what lay ahead. Life continued in a whirlwind of emotions and playful moments, yet amidst the joy, Ben often grappled with growing insecurities. Each brush of Latoria's skin, every shared laugh, the dynamic had morphed into something intoxicatingly deep. But Ben felt torn between desire and fear. What would happen if they truly let themselves fall for Latoria? A bond like this would always come with its challenges, and doubts began to creep into Ben's mind. One evening, after an outing filled with warmth and laughter, Ben returned home feeling elated and confused. Whispers of jealousy nudged at their heart when they thought of Latoria interacting with other residents in the building, especially the men, who always seemed mesmerized by her alien charm. Even while sitting alone in their apartment, the thought of Latoria's beautiful smile directed at someone else gnawed at their confidence. The rhythmic pounding of their heart echoed the internal battle. Ben wanted to race towards the beauty of their connection, but feared the vulnerability that came with it. The following week, a community festival drew near, a celebration uniting humans and aliens in the neighborhood. Latoria was heavily involved in the preparations, ensuring everything was perfect. Ben faced a dilemma, torn between attending the festivities and risking further insecurities. When Latoria invited Ben to join her at the festival, an internal war erupted. I'm not sure I'm ready, Ben replied, avoiding her gaze, unable to voice the panic brewing inside. Latoria's expression faltered, and Ben saw the flicker of hurt behind her vibrant eyes. Ben, please, it will be fun. I really want you there, Latoria urged, her voice a mix of concern and desire. Ben felt the pressure of her expectations and couldn't respond. Instead, they made a hasty excuse before retreating to their apartment. Once inside, Ben's heart ached with regret. The loneliness pressed upon them as they replayed the moment. Latoria had simply wanted to share an experience, and Ben had pushed her away. The festival arrived, a vibrant tapestry of colors, sounds, and celebratory energy. Music floated through the air as laughter and joy filled the atmosphere. Yet Ben remained cocooned in their own thoughts, wrestling with doubts and the fear of not fitting in Latoria's world. As they peered through their window, the colorful lights danced outside. Latoria, glowing with energy, appeared to be the center of attention, flirting and laughing with others. In that moment, jealousy, fear, and hurt barricaded Ben's heart, whispering that they were not enough. Days turned into an awkward silence. Latoria tried reaching out, her messages filled with warmth and concern, but Ben had pushed her away. Each moment without her felt unbearable. The depths of their connection haunted Ben, leaving them restless. Finally, the tension came to a head when Latoria confronted Ben in the hallway. You can't keep doing this, she said, her voice sincere yet tinged with hurt. I don't know how to handle this, Ben admitted, holding their breath, fear bubbling beneath the surface. Handle what? The fact that we share something special? Her words were sharp but full of affection. I thought we were building something beautiful here, but you keep pushing me away. Maybe it's because I'm scared. Scared of losing you, Ben replied, vulnerability spilling over. Latoria's expression softened. You won't lose me. If you just let me in, even if you're scared, we can face this together. They exchanged heated words, undulating with passion and emotion. As they spoke, Ben saw the depths of affection in Latoria's gaze, which simplified the complicated fears swirling within. "I need you to be honest with me," Latoria urged, her voice steady and firm yet gentle. "If we don't communicate, we'll never understand each other." Ben nodded, tears threatening their resolve. "I want to trust this connection, but I'm afraid I'll fail. Afraid I'm not the person you need," they admitted, feeling raw and exposed. Latoria stepped closer, her vibrant colors shimmering with an intensity that reminded Ben of the stars. "You are everything I need. I want you to trust in us." In that charged moment, words fled Ben's mind, replaced with the realization that fear should not overshadow their connection. They took a deep breath, reaching out to touch Latoria's arm gently, their fingertips brushing against her skin. "I want us to find our way together," Ben said softly, resolve strengthening. "Then let's do it," Latoria replied, her face breaking into a warm smile that lit up Ben's insides. In that moment of reconciliation, standing in the hallway where chaos had once reigned, they felt a newfound sense of hope blossom between them. Although the path ahead felt uncertain, both knew they'd confront it side by side. As the days turned into weeks, Ben and Latoria's relationship deepened. Despite the hurdles, their bond flourished, beautifully intertwining their lives. They became inseparable, navigating the complexities of their worlds with newfound courage. Yet, undercurrents of tension brewed, challenges lay ahead that neither had foreseen. The community festival loomed once more, a vibrant celebration that promised to unite humans and aliens in a joyous gathering. As Latoria enthusiastically planned the event, Ben couldn't shake off the feeling of apprehensiveness. Would they truly fit in, or would their differences lead to an unwelcome separation? When the day of the festival arrived, the air was electric with energy. Colorful decorations adorned the streets, filled with a variety of booths showcasing foods, crafts, and performances from different worlds. Latoria glowed with excitement, her skin radiating vibrant colors as she moved about, engaging with vendors and planning activities. However, amidst the chaotic fun, a misunderstanding unfolded. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the celebration, Latoria gracefully floated from one booth to another. Yet, as Ben moved cautiously from a distance, they noticed a commotion brewing at one of the stalls. A crowd gathered around Latoria, who was animatedly discussing her alien background with curiosity. Surrounded by fascinated onlookers, Ben felt a flicker of jealousy when they saw her laughing and interacting with another resident, a tall man whose charm radiated through the throng. "What's this?" Ben murmured to themselves, the pang of anxiety twisting their stomach. They watched, arms crossed and anxiety rising, as they sensed their insecurities creeping back. "Hey, did you see John? He tells the funniest stories," one of the other residents exclaimed, sauntering over to where they stood, and Ben felt a wave of frustration wash over them. "Yeah, sure," Ben replied tersely, struggling to mask their discomfort. Feeling an odd mix of awareness and jealousy, Ben's emotions brewed over. They had fought to open their heart to Latoria, but the thought of her effortlessly charming everyone deeply unsettled them. As the laughter crescendoed around them, Ben felt as if they faded into the background. In a moment of impulse, they turned to leave, overwhelmed by the tension and insecurity that gripped them. They didn't see Latoria's concerned look as she caught sight of Ben slipping away, her vibrant colors dimming to muted shades of concern. The night spiraled into chaos when a fiery debate erupted among some festival-goers, a misunderstanding stemming from cultural differences among the residents. As voices clashed over a tradition that Latoria hadn't explained, tensions escalated, culminating in a public scene. Suddenly, Latoria found herself at the center, unexpectedly confronted by hostility. The man Ben had seen her talking to tried to defuse the situation, but it only fueled the flames. "You don't belong here," shouted one participant, anger and misunderstanding spilling out. Latoria's bright hues began to fade. A physical manifestation of the hurt launched at her. Ben, hearing the sharpness in the voices around them, felt panic set in. They knew they had to do something, stand up for the person who had so willingly embraced them. Pushing through the crowd, Ben reached Latoria, their heart racing as they faced the crowd together. "Stop, You don't understand her, Ben shouted, their voice cutting through the chaos. Latoria is amazing. She's been nothing but kind and she wants to share her culture with us. That's easy for you to say, a voice retorted, impatient and hostile. She's different. We don't know her. How can we trust her? Latoria's eyes shimmered with a mixture of apprehension and gratitude. Ben swallowed hard, trying to hold on to the courage swelling within. Trust is built over time. You've all met her today. Can't you see the compassion in her heart? Ben continued, their heart racing wildly. She's not threatening. She's offering us a bridge to understand a new world. We need to embrace our differences, not shy away from them. As voices softened and people began to listen, Latoria stepped forward, her own voice steady, an embodiment of grace and strength. It's okay to be apprehensive. I understand your fears, but I'm here to learn from each of you, just as I hope you'll learn from me. Her colors gradually returned, shimmering brightly as she spoke. Latoria has more to offer than you can imagine, Ben added, standing beside her, their fingers brushing for comfort. The murmurs spread through the crowd and slowly, eyes began to soften. Understanding began to replace hostility, and conversations were sparked about unity and acceptance. In that moment, Ben realized how much they admired Latoria, not just for her beauty, but for her bravery as she faced judgment gracefully. As the crowd dispersed, Latoria turned to Ben, her eyes teeming with gratitude. "Thank you for standing up for me," she whispered. "You don't have to thank me," they offered, their hearts swelling with emotion. "We're in this together." That night, beneath the star-speckled sky, they shared cautious hopes and fears, realizing the fragility of the bond they had formed. Reassurance coursed through them both as they promised to embrace their journey together, no matter the challenges that lay ahead. With newfound determination, Ben and Latoria emerged from the festival stronger than before. Together, they had faced hostility and misunderstanding, and their bond had only deepened. The evening air was charged with emotions, the weight of their experiences transforming fear into security. As they strolled down the dimly lit streets, laughter bubbled between them. The vibrancy of the festival seemed to linger, glowing in their hearts. Latoria's hand brushed against Ben's, and without hesitation their fingers intertwined, a small gesture filled with intimacy that sent electric warmth rippling through them. "Can you believe what happened back there?" Ben chuckled, the lightness of the moment lifting their spirits. "Crazy. I expected a fun gathering, not a debate," Latoria replied, laughter dancing in her voice. "But I'm grateful to have you by my side. You stood up for me." "Of course I would do anything for you," Ben said, their voice steady yet filled with emotion. "I want you to know how much you mean to me." The words hung in the air, thick with intent. Latoria turned to face Ben, her colors bright against the backdrop of a darkening sky. "You mean a lot to me too. You've opened my heart to this strange world, and I never want to lose that connection." Slowly, they closed the distance between them, their breaths mingling as the air grew charged. There was an unyielding pressure pulling them closer, igniting the unspoken desire that had simmered beneath the surface for so long. With a tentative movement, Ben brushed a strand of hair from Latoria's face, simmering with anticipation. "Can I kiss you?" they asked, voice trembling but firm. "Yes," came Latoria's breathy reply, her eyes gleaming with sincerity and warmth. In that moment, the world around them faded, the bustling streets, the whispers of onlookers, until there was nothing but them and the connection that pulsed between their hearts. Slowly, Ben leaned in, closing the distance, and kissed Latoria softly. Her lips were cool and intoxicating against theirs, sending shivers of delight down Ben's spine. The kiss awakened something deep within, a sweet promise of everything they both longed for. Time felt suspended. The heartbeat of the city around them dulled into silence as they lost themselves in each other. As they pulled away, breathless, an array of colors danced across Latoria's skin, each shade reflecting the emotions surging within them both. Joy, vulnerability, excitement. "Wow," Ben breathed, astonished by the connection they just shared. "Wow indeed," Latoria giggled, her voice filled with delight. "I've never felt anything like that before." "Me neither," Ben admitted, wonder blooming in their chest. As they walked slowly along the riverbank, the night seemed to envelop them in its protective embrace. This is the start of something special, isn't it? Absolutely, Latoria nodded, her expression earnest. This moment and all the moments to come are just the beginning. As the hours unraveled, their conversation flowed with ease. They shared hopes and dreams, perspectives on love and the beautiful intricacies of their worlds. Every laugh, every shared glance strengthened their bond. But as the night deepened, a hint of concern slipped into Ben's voice. What if someone doesn't accept us? What if we face more challenges like before? The thought echoed their previous fears, dread scraping against the delicious promise of their connection. I won't lie. It might not always be easy, Latoria acknowledged, her face softening with understanding. But I'm not afraid of the world anymore, not with you by my side. The earnestness in her gaze propelled Ben forward, encouraging them to release the weight of their fears. Following a moment of silence, Ben reached for Latoria's hand, entwining their fingers once more. Then let's face whatever comes together. With their hearts intertwined, they stood beside the river, gazing up at the stars. The whisper of the night surrounded them, wrapping them in enchantment as they made silent promises to embrace the challenges ahead, savoring the sweetness of newfound love and unwavering connection. Together, they felt the universe shift, a new chapter ready to unfold.